Hey crafty people! Welcome back to my channel, and in case you're new here, I'm Sarah, also known as Craft Nerd, because I'm a nerd who loves to craft. I do paper crafting, card making, junk journaling, and mixed media art. Let's get crafting! Oh, welcome to my channel, and it is time for the full deck challenge for week 13. And the full deck challenge 4 is being hosted by Shanuki Art. I'll leave a link to her introductory video in the description box. And the prompts for this week are silica gel, which I'm not entirely sure what is, other than that's the stuff that comes in little packets in like new shoes and some furniture you have to assemble, which I have a story about that I'll tell you after we go through the prompts. Botanicals, fabric, texture, label, crazy colors, and black mark making. So we're gonna get started with this lovely leaf napkin, which we're gonna put on our playing card to give it some more tooth. And what I'm gonna do is, napkins usually come in 2 or 3 ply, and I'm just gonna remove the back from this. And I swear I have started one of these napkins somewhere around in my craft space, but I cannot find it, and the place is a disaster. And so we're just gonna start another one. I'm not too worried, it'll show up eventually. Plus, I have an entire pack of these napkins, so it's all good. And if you have difficulty separating the layers of your napkin, you can take a piece of tape and tap it to get like a rip started in the back layer. So that is an option. Let me see, do I have a water brush with water in it? Yes. So I'm just gonna tear a piece off because I don't need this whole thing for our playing card. You could also use scissors to cut it. Just be careful, don't put too much water on or you're gonna end up tearing too much. Ask me how I know. And I am going to use some matte medium to glue this on to our playing card, like so. So regarding silica gel, they come in little packets that kind of look like sugar packets if you're, you know, a little kid who can't read the do not eat on the packet. So yeah, when I was a little kid, I got a hold of one of them and ate it and then went to my mother carrying it, and it informed her that the sugar tasted funny. Yeah, there was a call to poison control. I was fine, obviously. But yeah, don't leave them lying around because they do look kind of like sugar packets. So that has been a running joke in my family since then. Anytime, you know, we find a silica packet in something, we do the sugar tastes funny. So all right, I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry and then cut off any excess. Now I want to die cut some further botanicals, and I think what I'm going to do for that is, I'm losing things. Okay, so I've got, this is Artist Lost mixed media pad, and I figured I'd use this. Apparently I have used it, I don't remember using it, but it's one I picked up at Michael's because it's inexpensive and I wanted to give it a try to see how well it works for like not super fancy mixed media projects kind of thing. And what I want to do is grab some Lindy Stampin' Gang, and I just need to figure out what colors I want. Let's do Gypsy Vibes, Boho Dreams. Oh, Gypsy Vibes, that's Smudge the Sage. That one's Mystic Crystal Teal. This one's the Gypsy Vibes, Gypsy Soul Slate. Let's grab every picture. Teals a story. That's Werk Wine. Rosewood Rouge. Let's grab Dreamy Desert Rose. And Kissing Couple Crimson. Figured this could work for our crazy colors. So what I'm gonna do is, these are shakers, yes? All right, so I'm just gonna shake some powders on, and then we will spray this with water and see what we get. I need to make sure I push these down better because a couple of them were a little on the clumpy side coming out, and I think it was because I may not have pushed the shaker top down enough the last time I used them. I put a little bit more pigment on here than is needed, so we'll grab another piece to use for cleanup. Because the next step is to spray it with water and watch the magic. I should move these further out of the way. So the more water you add, the more it spreads around. I think I may grab another piece. I kind of do this. Also gonna grab a paper towel and sop up in some spots where it got very puddly. Oop, that's dripping everywhere. Let's see, what do I want to do? I feel like while it's still damp, I want to come back in and add a little bit more. But I'm also noticing like there's some crystals that haven't been activated. Yeah, that purple kind of took over everything. So while it's wet, because my crazy colors kind of got a little lost, let's come back in with a little bit more of the teal. Might have gone a little overboard with the teal right there. That's okay. Actually, let's grab a brush. Kind of move our color around a bit. Yeah, this is one of those things I just kind of toss stuff on and see what happens. If I add a little bit more of the Dreamy Boho Rose. Not a whole heck of a lot is happening. That purple definitely tends to take over. All right, I'm going to dry this off. right, I'm looking at the two, and I really think I like my cleanup sheet better. So I'm gonna set this aside, let it dry. I will use it for something, but I think I'm a little bit happier with the cleanup sheet this time around. So, and this is just like a cooling rack, cooking rack kind of thing, and it helps let the air circulate all around the piece instead of if I left it flat on the table, it wouldn't be. It dries faster. I think that's dry enough. Let's clean up the mess off our mat. And I'm so totally gonna save this, let it dry, because this we can do some cool things with on a future project. All right, let's see. I've pulled out a bunch of floral dies, and I'm trying to decide. I really like, actually, let's bring this over. Those are too tall. Okay, let's, you know what? We are gonna use the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Buttercups and part of the foliage from their Forest Border Frame die. And let's see, I'm trying to figure out how I can make some room here, because the whole place is a mess. I'm in the midst of my craft room closet redo, and we are in transition phase, so everything's out all over the place. And that is not going to cut that. Okay, so I've got out my glass mat, but first we need to trim this down because it's not going to fit in my sidekick as is. So I forget how wide I can go on this. 2.5 inches. Okay. Now comes the big question. Which way do we want to cut it? This way or this way? Let's go this way. Now let's section cut that down. Definitely going to do flowers out of this. I will say I like how easy this paper is to cut. And I love the flowers. I angle this so it'll fit on here. I'm just trying to see if there's a way I can get it all on. I think if I go kind of this way, no, that's gonna cut that flower off. Actually, I'm okay if I lose some, except it won't go through the cutter. That's a problem. Okay, I'm okay doing that, and if we lose some of the stemmy bit, that's not a big deal. Oh yeah, I only missed a little bit of that. That's fine. I think we probably have enough flowers. Let's get some leaves. I think I want to do some out of this where it's mostly the purple. Oop. It's a little too wide. I've got scissors. I'll cut it down. Doesn't matter that it's too long. It just has to be, can't be too wide. All right, let me clear this up and make sure our playing card's dry, and then we will get to assembling. Okay, so we're dry, and I'm gonna just trim off all the excess. All right. Let's see. I think we're going to do 3 flowers. And think of having them coming out of the label. And I was also thinking I've got a scrap piece of fabric that I may stick this label onto. And I made this label. It's a piece of washi stuck to just a piece of cardstock, and then I stamped and cut it out. So I think I kind of like that. So let's trim that off and glue the fabric to the label. And then let's do some assembly on the flowers. All right, so let's glue the stems to the top piece, because I think I want to give it some more dimension. And so I think what I'm going to do is pop up the top section on the back piece of the flower. I was toying with the idea of doing mark making on the flowers, but I'm also a little hesitant. Let's test it out on the spare flower. All right, I paused you for a second while contemplating this and the emergency vehicle went past. All right, I'm just not loving it. So I think I'm gonna skip the mark making and just proceed on with my flowers as is. Together the rest of the way. And I'm just adding glue because the adhesive on foam squares doesn't always last forever. So adding just a little art glitter glue helps reinforce the adhesive. Went a little heavy-handed with the matte medium in it. A very warpy playing card. All right, this one I'm gonna just stick on going all the way up. feel like I want to that. I almost want to do yeah, I like that. Okay. This guy's gonna go there. Think my Copic multi-liner is gonna work better for going around the edge. Our label's gonna go here, and there's a little too much over on this side. Let's trim that a little bit. Gonna go on like so. Let's start tucking in the leaves, and I'm okay if they stick off a little bit. All right, let's start by gluing those down. And then I think I'm gonna deconstruct the other one of these and add leaves in various spots. Trim off our excess stems at the bottom. Now we need our little journaling piece and our prompt list. And in case you're following along on my use my stash low buy goals for 2026, I have both of these dies are ones I've never used before, so there we go. I used my stash. All right. And we got botanicals. Fabric. Label. Crazy colors. Do we think that counts as black mark making? Let's go with question mark. Right. There we go. We are done. Let me give you a closer look. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do all the things that lets YouTube know you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below. Thanks for joining me, and happy crafting!